All things considered, there's a good case to be made for the BMW 5 Series being the best car in the world. However, in order for that to be true, it needs to stack up not just as a new buy, but when you look at it as a used purchase too. And in this CarGurus used car review, we're going to do exactly that. This particular car is the 6th generation of 5 Series, which was sold between 2010 and 2016 and is available as a saloon or a touring estate. Obviously it's the saloon we're testing today, but don't rule it out on practical grounds alone, because if we look in here, this is a really large boot. You'll easily get a couple of large suitcases in here, a couple of sets of golf clubs, although this opening is narrower than you'll get in the touring estate for obvious reasons. The other thing to bear in mind with the 5 Series saloon is that split folding rear seats didn't come on every model, so if that is a feature that you need, be sure to check and don't buy this particular one. Now, the 5 Series is a big car and you'd expect it to be roomy in the back, and sure enough, look at this, look how much space there is for my pasty white legs. There's loads of headroom too, and you can get 3 abreast. This middle seat is wide enough. The only thing obviously to be aware of is the transmission tunnel, but the same thing applies in all of the BMW's rivals. As for what those rivals are, think Audi A6, Mercedes-Benz E-Class and Jaguar XF, plus perhaps the Lexus GS. Of that bunch, it's only really the Jaguar that can compete when it comes to driver enjoyment, because the 5 Series is quite the machine. It feels agile yet composed, and on long journeys it's incredibly quiet and comfortable. Superb seats help here, as does the fact there's not a weak engine in the lineup. Models with variable damper control adaptive suspension are particularly good. Obviously, if money were no object, you'd have the twin-turbo V8 M5. However, back in the real world, it's going to be the 520D with its 2-litre diesel. That makes the most sense for the most people. From that engine, you can expect upwards of 45 miles per gallon in normal driving, and road tax can be as low as £30 per year on certain versions. Or, if you fancy more power, don't rule out the diesel 530D and 535D, both of which put BMW's 3-litre straight six to very effective use. If you prefer petrol power, there are 4 and 6-cylinder engines to choose from, depending what era of 5 Series you're looking at. There's also a 5 Series active hybrid that combines its petrol engine with an electric motor, although you'll have to hunt much harder if that's what you fancy, because most 5 Series are powered by diesel. On that front, be aware that BMW has experienced a well-documented problem with stretched timing chains on its N47 2-litre diesel that's used in earlier versions of the 520D. If you're unlucky enough to buy an affected car, the repair bills can be frightening. So it's important to listen out for any untoward noises from the engine bay, and if you do hear anything suspicious, then find a different car instead. Also, insist on seeing evidence of regular maintenance, bearing in mind that the 5 Series can run up to 2 years between services. And diesel particulate filters, meanwhile, don't seem to be too much of a problem on the 5 Series, provided the cars are used for regular long runs. If you want a car that you can do lots of short journeys from cold, then buy a petrol one instead. Obviously, you're going to want to check the condition of the bodywork, the interior, and the wheels. Now, when looking at the wheels, also check to see what size they are, because anything that's bigger than 18 inches can result in a rather firm ride, particularly if the car is on M Sport suspension but doesn't have the variable damper control. Go through all the electrical items too, because there are a lot of them and problems aren't unheard of. The air conditioning should blow icy cold, BMW's iDrive infotainment should be responsive, and you shouldn't have to endure any squeaks and rattles around areas such as the sunroof. As regular viewers will know, here at CarGurus we highly recommend buying from a top-rated dealer, thus helping to ensure a smooth and enjoyable transaction. You'll also want to pay a fair price, of course, which is where our unique price analysis comes in, showing you how one model compares with similar cars within your search area. With such technology at your disposal, finding the perfect 5 Series at the right price becomes a whole lot easier. So head to cargurus.co.uk to begin your search. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep you posted when our latest used car reviews go live.